Hey folks, okay, so today kind of a short lecture, but a really important one. Today we're going to talk about pricing strategy. And pricing is really about how you decide or determine the price that you're going to charge for your product or service. The lecture is about strategy and theory. Always remember that you have to apply theory to your particular circumstances and realities. And what I mean by that is, when you think about pricing your product, don't just think about the pricing strategy you're going to employ, but think about how much money you're going to need in order to produce your product or service, in order to live, if you plan at some point to quit your regular day job, so to speak, and to afford the lifestyle that you want to live. Pricing is a really important and in some ways personal decision. And it's something that you can play with. I will give you an example. Last summer, I had a great summer. My house was rented every single day last summer, one of my one vacation rental that I do in Oceanside. It was rented every single day last summer. But having it rented every single day last summer was really a lot of work for me because I spend the summer away from Oceanside, so I'm not there. I'm very customer experience driven. And so it was really stressful. And so what we decided to do this summer was we're not booking it every day. We want to make sure that we have a day or sometimes 2 days in between bookings so that we can clean it, make it look great again. Last year, somebody broke the bed. I'm not kidding you. And I had somebody checking out at noon. Somebody broke the bed and somebody else was checking in at 3. And I was in Mexico. And the kind of stress and making sure that all of that is done and done correctly was just too much. So this summer, one of the things that we've decided to do is raise the daily price so that hopefully we make about the same amount of money, but we have a little bit less stress in that we're not trying to turn it around in 3 hours from 1,000 miles away. So again, pricing for everyone is a personal thing. Take into account your personal circumstances, use these strategies, but also think about it from a personal perspective. And so here we go. And so like I said, pricing is really about how you set a price. And most people, a lot of people, don't know. How do I do it? And so hopefully these strategies will help to define that for you. The strategies that we're going to talk about today, price skimming, penetration pricing, leader pricing, bundling, odd even pricing, and prestige pricing. The 6 most common pricing strategies. And probably the most common pricing strategy is what we call price skimming. Price skimming is where you are introducing the product or service at a high price and then reducing that price over time. The idea of price skimming is that as you produce more and more, you are going to be able to take advantage of the efficiencies that you learn in producing products more quickly and more consistently, referred to commonly as economies of scale. And so, as your product moves through the life cycle, you are harnessing these economies of scale or learning from making more frequently, and then something else is going to happen too. When you introduce your product, you're the new fresh thing, and so people start buying your stuff, and then other entrepreneurs notice, and so you start to get competition. Well, if you are priced in such a way that when you start seeing the competition, you can lower your price, it's going to keep your sales level consistent over time. And so the competition becomes less impactful if you do it correctly. Penetration pricing is kind of the opposite. It's when you are introducing the product at a lower price and you're hoping for lots and lots of sales. So penetration pricing tends to be volume driven. If you do really well at a low price, it becomes harder for people to compete. And so penetration pricing, when I think about penetration pricing, I think about like going to the fair, or those old as seen on TV commercials. You see them on YouTube too, where people are talking about the product and, you would think that it would be this much. You would think that anybody would pay $59.99 for this. And then by the time they get through the end of the commercial, they're going to give you everything and blah, 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 blah for $19.99 or the low, low price of. Those are examples of folks using penetration pricing, where they're saying, we're selling this product so low and you're going to love it. And because you're going to love it, lots of other people are going to love it, and we're just going to make our money by having a smaller margin, but lots and lots of sales. And so that is what penetration pricing is. Leader pricing is also referred to as loss leader pricing. When you think about going back to business strategy, Walmart's business strategy of being a cost leader, that is kind of like leader pricing on a large scale. But what leader pricing really is where you're introducing the product at a price below competitors to attract customers. Two examples for you. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like the Black Friday pricing, I'm going to use Walmart again, the Black Friday pricing at Walmart or Target or wherever. They're advertising a TV at a remarkably low price. They're using that TV to get you in the door, because they know that you're not only going to buy that TV that they're selling under their cost, but you're going to buy lots and lots of other things. Costco chickens. If you are a Costco member, you know that Costco sells rotisserie chickens at a really great price. I can never remember the exact price of the Costco chickens. I want to say it's like around $7 or $8. Much cheaper than you buy a roasted chicken for in the grocery store or anywhere else for that matter. Costco chickens are always in the back of the store, meaning that you have to walk through the entire warehouse to get to your chicken. The reason for that is that Costco knows when you go there for a cheap chicken, you on average spend an additional $96 on other things at Costco, because nobody goes to Costco for just one thing. And even if your plan is to just get the chicken, it very, very, very rarely works out that way for most people. So that is an example of leader pricing. Bundle pricing is when a product is bundled or grouped with similar or complementary products. I think of bundle pricing every time I go through the McDonald's drive-thru. You order a Big Mac, and they say, would you like a value meal? Would you like that by itself or with the value meal? The sandwich by itself is more expensive than the sandwich in the value meal. So the value meal, the price per item might be lower, but you're spending more in total. And so that is a classic example of how fast food companies use bundle pricing to drive sales. Because who doesn't want the French fries and the soda when you're just gonna, who can have a sandwich? Who can have a hamburger and not wash it down with something? So of course I'm gonna order the soda. Oh, and the French fries come too? Great. That's bundle pricing. Tip of the day, if you just want the sandwich, just order the sandwich. Odd-even pricing is pricing that introduces the product with pricing that ends in an odd or an even number to drive the perception that a price is lower than the closest dollar. Service-based businesses with monthly memberships do this a lot. And so here's how it works in actuality. An item that's priced at $10.99 is seen by the consumer because something happens in our brains as $10 rather than $11. And a monthly gym membership that's priced at $149 is seen as $140 rather than $150. $28.99 is seen as $20, not $30. And so that's how businesses use odd-even pricing to kind of trick your eye, trick your pocketbook into spending a little bit more, thinking that you're getting a little bit of a better deal, but you're not. And then finally, prestige pricing. Prestige pricing is when you're introducing the product at a very, very high price to convey quality or status. So your luxury goods, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, the Ritz-Carlton hotel system or hotel family of hotels. when you think about a hotel room, when it comes down to it, a hotel room is just a hotel room. It's got a bed, it's probably got a couple chairs or a little sofa. It may have a balcony, it may have a view, okay, maybe pay a little bit more for that. It's got a bathroom, but really when it comes down to it, a Ritz-Carlton hotel room is not altogether all that different from a Holiday Inn hotel room or a Spring Hill hotel room. And it's the status of staying somewhere with a pedigree or a label that makes you feel like a person of higher socioeconomic status, for lack of a better description. And so that is what prestige pricing is. So again, those are the pricing strategies that I have for you. Ultimately, it has to come down to the strategy that works best for you and your personal business and like personal circumstances. And hopefully between the two of those, you can find something that works. The one thing that I will also say, and I think I probably said this in my weekly update, is by and large, people, students especially, tend to devalue the quality or of their product or service because they're just starting out, or because this or because that. And so because of that, they price low. I would argue that you should always price high, because it is easier to lower a price than it is to raise a price. And even if you price your product too high, the one thing that you can do is use the marketing tool of promotion to make the proposal seem more attractive to a potential customer. You know, if you are insistent that you want your gym to charge $170 a person per month for an unlimited membership, and that seems like a very high price, well then why not give people 2 weeks free so that they can try it out? And that promotion, at least in the short term, will help convince the customer that your pricing is worth it. Same thing for product-based businesses. If you have a price that you've set really high for a t-shirt or a pair of jeans or whatever, just run a promotion and drive sales through your promotions. And so that's what I have for you. If you have individual questions about pricing, feel free to reach out. Everybody's business is different. And so this is definitely a topic where I tend to be really helpful on an individual level, more so than in a generic format like this.